right, ladies and gentlemen, our next speaker is Joey Benton. Joey Benton is a freshman at Bishop England High School and was the only student to walk out of class Wednesday during the National School Walkout. He has spoken face-to-face with lawmakers ranging from Tim Scott to Nancy Pelosi to lobby for health care reform and has been a spokesperson for the MUSC Children's Hospital. Hold on, there's more. Make-A-Wish Foundation, the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation, and was the first child to ever win the Healthcare Hero Award, has been featured on an Emmy-winning show entitled Peanut Goes to Washington.
Thank you for coming out today and supporting all the students across the nation, standing up, those that politicians won't. I'm a freshman at Bishop England High School, and I was the only person to walk out of my school. I use social... I tried to use social media and posters to persuade people to walk out with me, and I was mocked and ridiculed for my attempts. The day of the walkout, March 14th, I was called to the principal's office and strongly warned against walking out. No punishment in the world would be able to stop me from standing up for those who aren't with us anymore. Later that day, I walked out by myself and watched my classmates laugh. I stood out there in the wind and cold for 17 minutes while faculty members told me to return to the class and put my sign down. A day later, I was celebrated by a few, but the rest of my classmates laughed at me and said I was stupid for standing up for my beliefs. I tell you this story because you are doing something that's not easy. I had someone ask me why I walked out. That one person cannot make a difference. That what I did was useless. My answer is simple and their argument fails by their own words. Are we having a conversation about it? That's why I walked out, for your safety and my own. I'm sure many of you have seen or heard people put down this movement. These people say things like we aren't old enough to form our own opinions and guns are not the problem. If we can send teenagers into war, I think we are capable of an opinion. If we let teenagers vote, I think we are capable of an opinion. If we say teenagers are adults legally, I think we are capable of an opinion. This argument is just an ill-spirited attempt at devalidating our movement. If guns aren't the problem, then how come there aren't stabbings at school where 17 innocent children lose their life? There's no room for guns in the classroom, not by a student, a teacher, or anyone else for that matter. The myth that giving teachers guns can stop shootings is ridiculous. If we introduce more guns into the situation, there's a higher chance of the firearm being used against the students. We need new and stricter laws regulating firearms for protection of schools. Having police roam the halls like a maximum security prison will not help either. There were cops at Parkland, and we know how that turned out. I support responsible ownership, but is there any reason for assault-style weaponry? These tools have one intended purpose: to take human life. I'm furious at the current situation in America, and more furious that students must leave the classroom to protest because no one else will. High school students shouldn't have to worry if today is the day they will be slaughtered. High schoolers should be worried about sports, academics, and their boyfriends or girlfriends. Can we afford to have another reason to make it harder for students to succeed? Some say we should protest bullying, texting and driving, underage drinking, and all that ills in teenage years. I say to that, there are movements afoot to combat each of those, but this, school safety, is a topic in front of us. It is a scourge that each of us dread. We protest everything, we will not be heard. We must be heard. Change must happen. Our very lives depend on it. After the Parkland shooting, I was scared to go to school. I remember that I was in elementary school for Newtown, and I wasn't scared. I thought this could never happen to me. When there was a shooting in Roseburg, Oregon, once again, I thought the same. Once I reached high school, only when I reached high school did I feel like it could have been me on the other side of the barrel. That struck a chord of fear I could not do justice. I walked back to school looking around for spots I could hide if something were to happen. All of a sudden, I had to prepare and plan for the worst. This is unacceptable. Can we let kids be kids and enjoy the silly things in life? Can we have sleepovers and play video games? Can we play basketball with our friends after school? Can we nervously flirt with our crush? Can we not fear guns or leg in a pool of our own blood? If we're not here to lead, to stand up for what is right and just, then who will? Congress? We see how that has worked in the past. In many ways, Newtown was the most important school shooting. That is when we realized our elected officials have no appetite to make a change. We are over a month past that horrific day when 17 people lay slain in Florida, and there's still no active measure brought to the floor of Congress. Brothers and sisters, can we afford to sit idly by until the next church or school shooting is riddled with bullets? We are the change our nation needs. Our voices can be lifted high in the memories of all those who had their futures stolen. This isn't a partisan issue. This is an anti-murder issue. I refuse to accept that this is just normal or the way it is. How are we expected to just shrug our shoulders at school shootings? We cannot let this become normal or something to expect. We should be shocked and disgusted if there is another shooting. Never doubt that change is possible. Each step we take puts us closer to a safe future for ourselves, our families, our friends, and our nation. It may not happen tomorrow, it may not happen next week, but let us commit Parkland will be the most important school shooting. This time because our voices will be heard and our persistence will make the change that so desperately needed. We will be taking a stand that others are afraid to. We will make a difference.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you give us just a few seconds.